Hello guys, today playing Title Tuesday, just as usual. This is fourth time in a row, which is very good for me because it is about working on my consistency. Yeah? Because I think consistency is one of the things that is difficult for me to follow or to do. Yeah, so if like today I do something, then there is no guarantee I would do it tomorrow, and most likely I won't. And of course here it is a weekly story, so every Tuesday, but still it is about not skipping a single Tuesday because I didn't sleep well, because I have something else to do, because of something else, and so on. By the way, today I slept better, so the mood is more or less okay. So we'll see. And also today I will try to strictly follow my time management. So even if it doesn't work today, then it still will be something useful for me for future. So I decided that 40 moves in 3 minutes, that's too much, but at least being consistent, and in every game, no matter what happens, no matter like how complex the position is, like 30 moves, I have 2 minutes on my clock. This is the rule. So in fact it is about making 30 moves in 3 minutes. And then maybe like this is okay, this is an extra thing, so not so necessary, but maybe when I have, let's say when I will have when I make 40 moves, then still having at least 1 minute on my clock. While we are waiting, there are like 2.5 minutes. Maybe, by the way, I can ouch, no, this is not a good idea. It's better not to let, okay, you cannot see anything so far, so not a problem. Okay, now you can see it. So I don't remember if it was round 1 or not, or was it round 2 already, but let's see. Okay, so here let's go to move 30. No, here probably I didn't make it. Yeah, move 30, I had less than 1 minute. Then next game, yeah, the only thing is not to miss the tournament. I have 1 minute. There is 1 minute till the start. Even this game I didn't make it. Oh shit, so bad. 30 moves, 1 minute. I remember this game I made it, then this game I lost, and yes, here I spent like 2 minutes on one move. I remember going for something unnecessary Yes, and so automatically having less than like 20 seconds on move 26. So okay, seems like it will be very good. Seems like it's gonna be very good practice for me. I mean, to follow that let's say principle or rule and doing that in a strict way. Because for example, when I played last Tuesday, I thought that I'm kind of more or less close to what I wanted to have, but actually, like looking at the games now, you can see that I was not close. Like I was close in some games, but it was the exception, not the rule, let's say. So it doesn't really matter what's going on, how complex the position is. Today I have only one goal. Only one goal to make 30 moves in 3 minutes. The position is pretty even. There is no problem for me. There is no problem for white. Maybe queen e7, but queen e7 I should be careful about. Rook c7, so maybe rook c8 is my next move. Maybe h6 first makes sense. Let's start with h6, checking the intention of the bishop. And now let's go for rook c8, especially since white cannot really take on c8. I mean, of course they can, but then after queen c8, rook c1 is not an option. They would have to play queen b2 first. And now I can play queen e7. a5 followed by a6 might be a bit annoying. So maybe I would have to take on a5. I'm not so sure what to do actually, and but we don't waste my time, so let's take and let's play rook c8 simply. Since the rook on c1 is hanging, white has no time to play a6, I mean right here, right now. But overall, I think white has a decent position, and I think white is better here. White can take on c8 and play a6 next, having that strong pawn on a6, and maybe at some point bringing the knight to b5 or c6. And actually I'm not happy with my position, honestly saying. I see some potential problems. The bishop is hanging, so let's play. Later he will go for queen c6 probably. Okay, still I have to do what I have to do. And a6 looks good for white. Maybe after a6, I don't know if it works, but maybe after a6 I can play b5, bishop b5, and knight b8. Or this move I'm actually happy about, because I can at least take on a5 and simplifying the things a little bit, defending the c7 square, so not having problems with bishop c7. Her queen c6 is a bit unpleasant. Okay, he didn't do that. Let's go for bishop b7. Maybe actually a6 is a problem. I thought like it wouldn't be a problem for me to provoke him to do that. Or maybe I had, after a6, I had queen c8. This would be brilliant move for me. Brilliant decision, avoiding most of the problems. Now do I take? Let's take, and let's play a6. And maybe queen c8 next move. Maybe bishop f8 first, bring in the bishop closer. Of course, it's all about like who will be, who is going to grab the pawns on a5, a6, because like knight e5 is coming, yes, of course, like delivering some problems. Let's play bishop f8 first, and then maybe next move queen c8 or knight d6. His pawn on a5 is also weak. Yeah, it's not only about my weak pawn on a6. Like there is a chance that we simply exchange both of them. Like, so far I'm doing great in terms of my time management. 24 moves, 316. My opponent does does it badly, but he doesn't know the rule. Yeah, it's not yeah, I thought about this move, that it might be possible, and it doesn't look great to take the queen. I don't really want to do that because could be very risky. Could be possible, however. But let's play queen c8. Like maybe queen b6, and then even a5 was an option, but then bishop b5, and who knows if his b6 pawn would simply win the game. Knight c5 is a good idea by him, actually. Ouch. And I cannot even play knight d6 now. I can play knight f6, however, maybe aiming for knight d7 or knight e4. Yeah, here I'm forced to take, I think. And if he took with the queen, I would simply take it, so no, not a problem for me. Oh, knight d7 now I have, yeah? Simply winning a pawn. I thought he should have taken with the queen, then queen c5, dc5, and if I play knight d7 there, then he would play c6. But now with his time and with my time, this position should be winning for me. Of course, my king is a bit vulnerable, but I think, let's say queen d6, I think I take on c5 with my knight. I have no choice. And then either knight e4 or knight d7, so we're defending the e5 square somehow. Yeah, probably this move. Yeah, of course, a bit, maybe not a bit, yeah, like being honest, not a bit vulnerable. I mean, my king. And not so easy to create some activities, some counterplay for me. And after queen c6, there is queen e7. Keeping, or knight f8 I can do, bringing the knight maybe to g6 and defending the king in this way. Here I have queen c1, but what does it give me? Let's go for this. Let's start with this move. Now let's go for queen c5, attacking there. He's worse on times, or at least this is what I could use. But I'm gonna lose my pawn most likely. The knight is a very good defender for the king. Avoiding, it could help avoid most of the possible checks. So as you can see, a bad game by me, but a fast game by me. Yeah, move 30, I had 2 minutes 23 seconds. Then actually I started to waste my time a little bit thinking, is this move better or that move better? But yeah, of course my position was worse and it was not so great, but I was good on time. Okay, let's see if I do the same in 10 more games. The exchange Slav, yeah, this is already a win for white. There is a typical tactics here, queen h3, then followed by knight takes d5. Let's see if the guy blunders that or he plays g3. g6 I meant. Yeah, he played. Unfortunately, not an easy win, yeah. Would have to work a little bit on winning this position. Let's play rook f2, should be a useful move, defending the pawn on b2 at the same time, like being able to double the rooks on the f file, because obviously my goal is my target, or maybe I could, I missed, but okay, the b2 pawn was hanging, so it wouldn't be a big achievement. Let's just play rook f1. Should be a useful move. And now let's play bishop g5, creating a threat of taking on f7 maybe. Maybe g4 was a good move, but bishop g5 I like the idea because asking some questions. Maybe queen c7 is a smart move. Knight h5 I don't really think it is a smart move. It should be something for me here, definitely. I think g4 might be very strong, but let's spend some time. I think I can go for g4. And after knight g7, knight takes f7. Oh, should I start it with? Okay, not important. Yeah, he avoided my trap. Yeah, he avoided that. Shit. I can go for fe5, bishop here, gh5. That should be good. I can go for d5, knight g7, bishop takes e7, rook e7. Let's go for this one. Maybe I had an easier win, but okay, we have what we have. He should take on g5. What else to do? By the way, after bishop g5, can I go for rook takes f7? Maybe this is not really necessary and it's not a good idea to waste my time on thinking of rook c7, rook f7. Okay, I have 1 minute for 10 moves. Rook f7, knight g7, probably. I have rook g7, king g7, rook f7, king f7, queen h7, king f8, bishop g6. Is it checkmate or not? No, he has... Oh, might be interesting. But rook f7, there is a pawn on b2 hanging. So is it a good idea to go for that? Let's go for this one, safer way. Wasting too much time on this move, and I really want to be in time, but most likely I will not be. Maybe rook g2 was just winning. I forgot that this was my idea. Rook g2 would be winning immediately, actually, I think. h6 is a threat. Bishop b1, queen d1, queen c2 is one of my ideas. No rush. So the rook would be able to take on f6 if necessary. Knight d5 I had as an option. I can even take on f7 actually. Rook f7 is an option. But I prefer queen d1, queen c2. And if bishop f6, I'm not going to take on f6, simply queen c2 finishing the game. So it seems like that's it, checkmate is coming. And I'm 4 seconds away from... like 3 seconds and 1 move to make. Fortunately, the move is obvious. So the only thing he can do is bishop d3. So just in time, just in time. But of course, it was stupid to waste my time. Like 1 minute. But just curious. I think I had an instant win somewhere. And I need already to look at this position because it appears from time to time. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Bishop g5, knight h5. No, knight f7 was possible right away, but g4 is good. And fe5 is actually easiest, and gh5 is easiest. So you see the funny thing that here I was wasting my time thinking if I can go for d5, but I felt that fe5 would be the best move. Here I thought I was calculating 1 minute rook f7, but I felt like gh5 should be good enough. And then finally we get to this position. I felt like rook g2 was the best move. Actually, I played the best move, queen g3. But I thought rook g2 was easier, but I already forgot about that. H6, here we go. And rook f7 would be the right way to finish the game, but here it was also good for me. Rook h6, I thought about that briefly. Yeah, okay, here we go. And here and h6, and the bishop has no good square. So not a bad game. I was winning like during like throughout the whole game, and this is game one where I was worse. And fortunately I was better on time, and this was the reason why I won that game. So far so good. 2 out of 2. And 2 out of 2, not only scoring the points, but what is even more important, like 2 out of 2 with the good time management. Okay, second game was not, it was not a good time management, but I was in time to make 30 moves in 3 minutes. There is a good saying, time is money, and in chess time is also money. In chess time is material. So for example, if you are material up, or you're, yeah, let's say you're a pawn up, or you have a winning position but you have no time, then most likely, or let's say in most cases, you wouldn't win the game if you have no time. Or like you might even lose the game if you have no time. And this is what often happens to me. It often happens to me in rapid chess, in blitz, and in classical chess as well, playing against Hans Niemann. So the only target for today is 30 moves, 3 minutes. I have played against him, and we play the same line in one of the previous Title Tuesdays. I don't remember which one, but interesting if he prepared something, or he's going to do something similar to what he did in the previous game we played. Oh, he had prepared something, but something not so good. Bishop b7 before going for c4. b4 would be interesting, so like maybe let's start with a5 and playing b4. He cannot really take on b4, so it doesn't make sense to pre-move it, because I think he cannot. Like, he might take, but I don't think it's a good idea, yeah, because after c b4, a b4, the a file would be open, and it doesn't look like a great idea for weight. Okay, 22 moves. I have like 8 moves for 2 minutes for 8 moves. Moving my queen away, so we're aligning it against the king, defending here, still defending here, moving my queen away from this. I moved it away from all this stuff, but now it's a new one. This is funny. Yeah, this is funny. Maybe was not the best square for the queen. And seems like I cannot play a4. I cannot take on c4, on c3 I mean. I need a good move here, but I don't see it. And I cannot even move my queen away. I mean, I can actually play queen a7 maybe. No. I don't. Like, I'm sure I'm better, but I don't see the move. That's a problem. Maybe a4 is possible. Maybe. Actually, yeah, a4 makes perfect sense because now I can go for queen takes c4. Oh shit, and you see, I thought I was doing well on time, but actually, like, eventually I screwed up. Having the square for my king. Oh shit, I didn't see this move. Am I lost? Having such a good position and then I cannot play king d8 because of knight e6. Cannot play king f7 because of rook before knight before rook d7. Yes, I'm just lost. Stupid. Just stupid. Having such a good position, like, just in fact, I don't know, like, how winning was it for me? bc3. bc3, bishop c3. Oh shit, I didn't see that. I completely missed knight f4 idea, so I would win some material here. a4 was not a great decision, but okay. And here just taken on c3 first, bc3, and if knight c3, then knight b4. This stupid knight on d5 could have won the game several times for me. And if bishop c3, on bishop c3, then it's not so, let's say it's not so obvious. I mean, just we keep playing, yeah. So I played this cheap b5, but then actually rook c2. I thought rook c1 might be a problem. Bishop, stupid, just take on c2. Also winning for me, yeah. And then blundering this, and that's it. The end of story. If king e7, a3, then still advantage for me. So, and like what is worse, like here I was so happy and I spent 1.5 minutes on a simple move. Nothing impressive by Niemann, like as I thought. He, like, I didn't change my mind. He was nothing. I have played against him several times, and all the time it was nothing impressive by him. I don't understand how he is 2740 in classical chess. In my opinion, nothing impressive player, average, ordinary player. So stupid. Just like multiple times. First time here bc3 would give me an advantage, then here bc3 would give me an advantage, and then here rook c2 would give me an advantage. And not just an advantage, yes, but yeah, pretty big advantage. And you see, he was actually using my time management strategy for today. He played stupid moves, but he made it. He was making them fast. So this reminds me the first game when you remember, as black, I had a bad position, worse position, but I was playing faster, and eventually I won my opponent. Who played a decent game but made some mistakes, some inaccuracies, and eventually he lost. Hello, Fischer Campe. And like he played fast, stupid but fast, and he won because of that. Okay, so for today, yeah, I didn't come up with a good suggestion, but I need some penalty if I don't make 30 moves in 3 minutes. Yeah, having some penalty would be really good. So maybe this would give me more motivation to do it faster. What is g5? Is it a jock or what? Oh, Caslin Lawn, what a surprise. The only thing could be a bit annoying, knight e5 idea when g4, h4, knight e5, then using the f3 square. And actually knight e5 could be an option right now. So let's go for d4, controlling the e5 square, fighting for the center, and overall, like maybe opening my bishop. The only thing is not so clear what I'm going to do with my king. Castling long, I don't really want to castle long myself. But if I castle, first of all, I cannot castle short. Stupid me! I didn't even realize that that I cannot castle short because of bishop h3. But I didn't like castling short because of h4 as well. So not a big deal for me. Anyway, I couldn't do that. A4 looks solid. Knight d4. Knight d4 also looks solid. This one is defended. Here we have something. The only thing left is to castle and bring my pieces to the queen side to attack the king. Queen e6, not a big deal, I think. But if I castle, then h4 is always a small issue. I don't really like that. Maybe queen goes to, no, queen e3, then, okay, maybe if I play queen e2, then knight e4 is actually worse for him. Because knight e4, then there is bishop takes b2. Ouch. Things are not so simple here, surprisingly. But maybe what I can do is queen e3, being a bit smarter, having knight b5 as an idea. I don't know if it works or not, because after knight e4 I just realized after knight b5 there is maybe knight f6 move. But knight b5 is an interesting move, and maybe there is some knight g3. No, this is I saw. I have knight c7 winning the queen. This is what I just wanted to show you, but he made a move, so we'll see it on the board. And also knight e6 comes with a check, which is very painful for black because no compensation. It's time to resign. Yeah. Very cheap by me, but okay. So a3 is good. Knight d4 is, oh no, they're even. And castling short was possible, actually. Yeah, castling short. And after h4, just probably ignoring that. Yeah, just ignoring here. Yeah, I thought about this, but probably not g4 because of knight takes g4. Still possible, but ignoring the king side and attacking the queen on the queen side. Yeah, this one I thought it works, but knight f6, just as I told you, knight f6, then I would take here, and then there is some compensation for me because there are some weaknesses. The king can be attacked, but okay, here I don't know what was his point. Maybe he didn't see queen a7 at all, or what? And also more or less okay with time management in this game. The only moment I spent some like 22 seconds on move 12, and queen e3 I spent half a minute. Otherwise it was good, but the game was too short. So okay, I did my mission. So far I have 3 out of 4 in the tournament and 3 out of 4 on my mission. on my mission to make 30 moves in 3 minutes. At least 30 moves, yeah. Could be more, but shouldn't be less. If today it doesn't work in this way, let's say for today the goal is to play, let's say 9 games out of 11 would be fine if I have more than 2 minutes after move 30. If today I don't do that, then for next tournament I need to do some penalties. But I have no idea what penalties to make. So I like need some motivation to follow it strictly. Because especially like often when we stop to think, especially in a blitz game, we lose the momentum. Yeah, we were playing like bam 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 bam, and then we like for 30 seconds we like and then you cannot get back to that bam 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 bam. Yeah, then you're already like then you bam bam, then bam bam, yeah, so it's already like bam bam, yeah, instead of bam 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 bam. So like do what you have to do and it will be what it has to be. Probably I need to record a video on time management. Yeah, because I actually have a problem with that. I have a problem, and often like even in classical games, I often was wasting my time, then eventually being low on time and missing points because of that. Okay, there is a 6-minute break after this round, so I'm gonna go to grab some water and I'll be back. Okay, here we go. It says that 3 minutes left before the next round. I have 3 out of 4 and 7 rounds left. Seven games, and the mission to make 30 moves in 3 minutes. And the older you are, the more difficult it is to change that. Yeah, it's the older you are, the more difficult to change that. And it is already like changing a very old habit. It's like, let's say, if you're like, what do we call such a guy, overthinker or long thinker, then I think changing that is almost as difficult as quit smoking, for example. you may laugh, but okay, maybe not that much difficult, but kind of like, it's similar to, let's say, to changing if you're go sleep late. It's changing your regime, and it's difficult. And unfortunately, I don't really see another way, but just going in a hard way, in a tough way, with forcing, just forcing to play faster. And then maybe once I see that playing faster gives me even better result, then maybe I would play faster. Of course, also there are some, let's say, chess related reasons. I mean, it is about having some confidence that my moves are good, and let's say being in more or less shape. But since I don't, like, my last classical tournament was more than a year ago, and so of course, because of that, with c5, what do I do after c5? Probably knight f3. And I think if knight g4, bishop g5, f6, d5, if I'm not mistaken with my lines. Or the bishop on g5 could be an issue. But I can play d5, I think. Looks interesting. Yeah, the bishop was kind of under some pressure. There's some pressure here. So for example, if I wanted to castle first, but then I saw that after cd4, knight d4, the bishop on g5 would be hanging. So d5 looks very natural to me. And here I can castle. I can take on e5 first. Let's castle. Yeah, d6 doesn't make sense because after bishop e6, the d8 square would be defended. So how do I use it now? What can I do here? Knight d2 might be interesting. Attacking, maybe it was a better square for the knight, but even this one is okay because I'm simply attacking the knight on g4. I might play, oh, this is smart. This is smart and funny at the same time. But how about h3? What if I play h3? I could have taken on d5, but I'm asking a question where the knight goes. Because f6, h6, I take it, and then I take on d5, his king will be weak. He might play at f6, he might play f6, that makes sense. Oh, this move doesn't look great. And here we go, first taken here. Of course, he needs to take on c3, otherwise what all these was for, having such a terrible pawn structure and other things. The problem is that if I play knight d4, then queen d4, he will exchange the queens, and for me it's better to keep the queens. Actually, I think I can do that. And if king g7, I have knight h5. Oh, this is might be even worse because I have, no, queen c2, actually there is knight g6, but queen c1 is pretty strong. Queen c1, he will go for queen h4. Queen c2, knight g6. Let's go for this one. Yeah, queen h4 is an annoying move for me because also it's about like possible capture on h3. Like bishop takes h3. Why didn't I just take on d4? Yeah, take on d4, play rook d1, play a better endgame with the d5 pawn, with a worse pawn structure for the guy. Okay, he didn't do that, fortunately. I don't know why. He missed probably that idea. I missed that idea. I mean, I saw it at some point, but then eventually I forgot about it. Just pushing it as high as possible. Oh, he also has a pass pawn actually, yeah? Shit. Do I have queen takes f8, rook f8, rook e8? That might work. But might not. But might work. But might not. But might work. Like, okay, 28 minutes, 28 move, like less than 2 minutes. But okay, maybe queen f8 was too critical, but actually, yes, I had 27 moves and like I was fine, but queen f8 requested some calculation, of course. And seems like it works. Because if c2, rook f8, king g7, and I can promote the queen because the rook is defended by the bishop as well. And I don't really see a way for him. Queen d8, I'm not gonna take the queen, but I'm gonna take the rook on f8, queen f8, and then d8 promotion. I think that's it. Yeah, white is winning here. I actually had, okay, I cannot see it in real time, but I had, like, since I spent 24 seconds, I had, okay, let's talk about that a bit later. So here I had, actually I was like, okay, not perfect, but I was more almost in time, yeah, because I had like, okay, 4 moves left and 8 seconds. But here it was really a critical moment if I can take on a fade. But yeah, honestly saying, it was not a good time management, as well as some move. Yeah, queen d4, simple move. H6 and bishop f4, knight g6, a nice way for him. C d5 was a simple decision for me. Then it was fine. Knight d4, the best move. Oh, queen c2 here. Queen c2 is you're pretty smart. Knight f6 and queen h7. Phew. I didn't see that. Why didn't he play queen h4 on knight h5? I thought I would play f4. Knight h5 makes sense, but it's also not so obvious. Yeah, I would play f4. H4 was winning. D6 is also winning. Yeah, queen f8 is a nice way to finish the game. Okay, let's get back to the tournament. Um, Edlany, I don't really know what you mean, but if you keep posting some political statements or something like that, I would block you. I saw you were doing it like two streams ago, so I don't really know what is your point behind that. So like I'm a friendly person, but if your point is um, let's say about just spamming, then it is the wrong place to do that. Okay, playing against Vidit with black. Let's see. Okay, I should keep through the moves 3 minutes rule. I don't think my opponent will be in time to make 30 moves in 30 moves in 3 minutes. But okay, I don't care about my opponent. I need to do my own things. Maybe bishop h3, having it as an option. A classical story, exchanging the fianchetto bishop. Knight g4 might be interesting, but probably doesn't really work. Anyway, he has the knight on d2, so I can go by the simple way like this and playing d5, having no problems at all. The only question, which one to take with? Maybe taken with the queen, maybe not. But I don't want to exchange my dark square bishop too early. This is my king's defender. And also I have a simple plan of playing rook d8 and rook c8, let's say. If queen d5, then here it's already fine to take with my knight. I mean, knight takes d5 was, I think, also was absolutely fine. Oh, actually, if I go for knight e4, then maybe after he takes on g7, he will play queen c2. Maybe overall queen c2 is his idea. Oh, by the way, how about queen e4? Maybe unnecessary move, maybe unnecessary decision, but let's go just okay. Yeah, he probably simply plays knight d2. But okay, like how he's gonna deal with the pin. Also knight e4 is coming. Of course he can simply play queen c2, but still like e2 at some point will be hanging. Maybe knight b4 and something else will be hanging. So you see, he was wasting his time for nothing and eventually getting even like maybe a slightly worse position. And maybe it's not a problem for him yet, but it might be a problem, and maybe he needs to come up with some with a good move, with the right move. Yeah, I think knight e4, bishop g7, bishop, okay, then he has queen c2 probably, queen d5, knight f3, and he has no problems. Maybe overall he doesn't have problems here, by the way. Maybe it is just my dreams of having something. But let's try bishop h6, looks like a funny move. Because if he plays e3, actually e3 is a terrible move, probably, because of knight before knight d3. But maybe he can simply play queen c2. Or queen c2, knight b4. Yeah, he cannot play queen b1, the knight would be hanging. So, no, queen c2 is not an option. Maybe he can take on f6. So getting a square for his queen. I already have a threat, knight e4, or maybe bishop takes d2, then knight e4. Yeah, just as I suggested, getting a square for the queen. Square on b2. Pawn takes, then queen c2. Queen f6, maybe knight e4 is possible. Queen e6, queen c2. Okay, let's go for queen takes, I don't know. knight d4, actually the rook on c1 would be hanging. Now I wanted to play knight b4. I'm not on time once again, but okay. Oh, I win the exchange. Ay, not a good idea, not a good idea. Should have played bishop g7 first, but okay. I'm fine on time, I'm fine on position. How do I win? Shit. Okay, I'm better in time, but this is temporarily. What can I say? Like, completely winning. Okay, we'll get back to that game after this game, but just completely winning, better, like technically winning, winning on time, like better on time, like having, I don't know, what was it, maybe 1.5 minutes against 45 seconds by him or something like that. Stupid. Yeah, bishop f8 was a stupid idea. I needed that bishop to kick away the knight on d4. Well, I'm glad that I achieved that advantage, yes, because I outplayed. Once again, like you see, similar story as with Niemann. Not in terms of the game. This game was even better because against Niemann, I knew till some moment, and I knew that it should be better for black. Here, in fact, I outplayed the guy from scratch. Yeah, what I wanted to say is that Vidit is actually not a strong player in my opinion. Nothing impressive. Also, it's not so clear how he got into candidates tournament, winning Grand Swiss. Also, nothing impressive, and as you can see, I easily outplayed him, just in a pure way with black. Then you might say like, okay, you lost in the end, but okay, I was winning, and just some like a few stupid decisions. Also, it is a blitz game, so this is just a pleasant position for white. The d6 pawn is weak. It's not about winning that pawn instantly, but simply improving my pieces, and then eventually putting more and more pressure on the d6 pawn. Maybe black will be able to defend it. So it's not about, like, once again, it's not about winning in a direct way, but putting some pressure, more and more pressure, and at some point black will crack. Of course, like, maybe he will crack on his own. Maybe I will have to help him a bit. First, we do the right things. We simply develop pieces, complete in development, and then I think knight d4 will be a good idea at some point. Exchanging the defender. The defender, I mean, the knight is shielding the pawn from the bishop. Okay, he avoided that because now I have to play b4, and the d3 pawn, the c4 pawn will be hanging for me. The problem is that I cannot really play knight e4. Oh, knight e5 is coming. Oh shit. Okay, then I have to play knight d1. Yeah, the idea is knight e3 or knight b2 and defending the c4 pawn at least. Like, fortunately, I don't lose it. Maybe rook d2 was inaccurate. Maybe knight d4 right away would make sense. So the question is knight e3 or knight b2. Of course, knight on e3 is, looks better, but it could be a problem about like bishop g5, queen b6 stuff. So let's think. Yeah, like, maybe not really I want to do this move, but it feels safer. On b2 it feels safer. Maybe it's like, yes, potentially it's better on e3, but there might be some tactical tricks. Maybe at the same time knight e3 would allow me to play f4 at some point. Maybe I could play f4 even in this position, but like starting with h3 and then f4, even e4 could be an option for me. On b6 I'm slightly worried about this move. It's not like a yeah, it is a bit annoying move. Okay, let's play h3. It seems like I have to do that because knight g4 was all like a problem all the time. Maybe next move I will play e3 first, then king h2, f4. Okay, he's finding a way to attack my pawn. What a nasty player, what can I say? I can defend it by rook c1 or rook d4. Which one? Maybe his idea to push b5. In terms of that, there is no big difference. Maybe d5 also an option by him, but d5 I have b5. Yeah, d5 b5. So let's go rook c1. By the way, what is? Yeah. Also, you see one more. Actually, there is one excuse. Why I'm not in time to make 30 moves in 3 minutes, because I don't look at my clock. Yes, and only in the very end I look at the clock and I see that I'm not in time. So when it already happened, yeah, this is my point. I realize that I see that only when it already happened. Yeah, f4 I cannot do for now because of queen e3. So how do I prepare that? Also, I don't really like my queen here, so let's go queen d1. Maybe, by the way, attacking the pawn on d6. 26 move. So like 5 moves, 20 seconds to Black needs to play d5. This is an obvious move. I don't really want to play cd5 there because after bishop d5, if I exchange my bishop, then my king will be vulnerable. This is not a good idea. Also, my pieces, you see how misplaced they are. Actually, my opponent has 40 seconds, which is not much for him. But what do I do? How do I? Rook d6, maybe not a great idea. Let's go, let's make a move. Maybe even a stupid move, but I still cannot play f4 because of queen e3. He has 30 seconds, so it's already about like not making something stupid and winning the game. That would be enough. That might be enough to win the game if I don't make something stupid. Expect to see bishop somewhere. No, okay, then still king g1 is a useful move. It's time finally to do something. Now you can finally see that I have a good position. This was all this was part of the plan, actually. Yes, but the plan, it took too much time to like to do everything, let's say. So I mean, it took a bit longer than I expected. Yeah, maybe b4 by me was not a good idea overall, allowing all that. No, b4 was the right move, 91 was the right move. Yeah, 93, like, you know, Obviously it's a better square for the knight, but yeah. So eventually somehow I won the game. But what is more interesting, let's take a look, or it somehow it disappeared. The previous game has disappeared. Skin sleeve. If you are a beginner, you don't really need to avoid early checkmate. This is what you need to look for, and you need to play e4 as white, and then developing your pieces in a fast way. And it's okay for you to blunder pieces. Patil, hello. It's okay for you to blunder pieces, and the more pieces you blunder, the better for you, because then eventually you will blunder less. But you cannot just like from, let's say, from this point where you can see it. Okay, here you can see it. From this point, jump here without blundering, without without that process of blundering. Playing against Jeffrey Son. One more game against a stronger player with black. Actually, I have played 3 games against stronger players with black. And I think no single game with white. And then also I was winning 2 times against them. And okay, maybe against Niemann it would be too loud to call it winning, but it was an advantage. It like a good advantage. Against Vidit, I think was just it was a winning position. Like, this is what we can call it. No doubt, it was a winning position. Unfortunately, things didn't work well for me in those 2 games. At the same time, achieving those positions, I think it's a good sign, but I need to work on my like maybe calculation, maybe converting, and yeah, overall those 2 things. Also, I would say still, like, I slept better today, so like I can I can do things in a better way, but it's still like not perfect. Also, I gave like 3 hours of lessons today, then 2 hours of lessons for myself. I was doing something, so like okay, getting these positions, then the only thing left is to convert them. So maybe I will get into that shape, being able to finish those games in my favor. Yeah, might be a problem for me, but okay. Let's fight. Should a g5 is a decent idea now. Thanks to my queen on c6, g5 is an option. So if he goes for knight e3, I still go for g5, a g6, f g6, g5 here, g6, f g6. And if I don't lose immediately, it's fine for me. I mean, the position is fine. Okay, he's aiming for, but okay, now I can play this. Maybe he's gonna sack his rook, yes, and this or that way, but here it's okay for me now. The only reason I played queen e6 first, because here takes and e6 using the pin might be not so good for me, so that's why I did that. And now, since he's thinking maybe this is something a bit surprising for him, because I don't know what here to think about. I don't see any trick he can go for. Yeah, and like, I mean, he was probably thinking in advance what to do after this. So now if g5, he has bishop takes g5. Yeah, so the only question for me, which square to choose for, I cannot go to g7 because of rook d6, so I go for bishop e7, and I'm gonna aim to trap his bishop. Not even trap his bishop, but the idea is simple. The rook is defended by the knight, so I go for g5, f4, kicking the knight away, and I will be able to take on d5, winning the exchange and hopefully converting it. But no, he probably gonna go rook d1 or rook somewhere, so being able after g5, bishop h2, f4, playing knight d5. Yeah, that's, I see that as the only reasonable way for him. Taking on h6, I don't recommend, because then at some point, like, either taking on h6 first or playing g5 right away, attacking something on h6, then playing f4. This should be good for me. While the position after rook goes somewhere, g5, bishop h2, still quite complicated. Maybe I'm not going to go for f4 there, but maybe g4, rook h5, bishop g5. However, bishop g5, then rook goes back to d6. I don't really want to see that rook on d6. But after rook d6, I can maybe win the rook on h5. So, interesting. The only problem, like, I have several options and I would have to choose between them. I don't know what else to think about, because if allowing me to play g5 f4, this obviously it's just bad for white. I mean, and if I can take on d5, okay, he goes for this. This is his choice. Let's see what his plan is. I thought I would go for g5, and this is what I do. And I thought here I would go for f4, and this is what I do. And I thought I'll go to grab the rook on d5, and this is what I do. Okay, the only thing left is to convert this position. Hopefully I will be able to do that, but I'm not sure. Probably he's gonna play c4. That makes sense. It's actually not like my king is vulnerable, so it's not gonna be easy to convert this position. And also, you see, my queen should go somewhere, while I would prefer to have it on d5. Queen d4, then queen c2 might be annoying. And whenever I take on f6, it is a problem. So actually, I think I need to go queen e6, so keeping an eye on the knight on g4. And can I play d6 here, solving all of the problems? Let's try. So if bishop takes, I take with my rook. If pawn takes, I have rook d7, or queen e1 is even easier way. Yeah, something like this I was actually worried about. I mean, to blunder something like this, which I successfully did. However, I think it's not a problem for me. I have rook c8, and everything will still be defended. If the funny thing, if he plays this, I have queen e1 and rook h8 checkmate, so that's why he didn't do that. d5. Okay, I have to do that anyway. Here we go, and I'm in time to play e4, which is important. Oh, he's also aggressive. Simply defending everything, so we're not blundering something stupid. And okay, it's time to exchange some material. So I would be able to exchange the queens at some point. And I have 40 seconds, he has 7 seconds. No way he will survive here. No way. The only thing left, if I checkmate him right away or I play queen d4 exchanging the queens. Queen b1, king h2, rook h7, king here. Okay, let's go for this one. I can literally do whatever. It's time to give up, my friend. Yes, finally, I know it was not only about getting a better position, but also winning it. Yeah, 93 he should have played. And now it's already a better position for me. And I have no idea why he didn't play something like that. Because this is, I checked and I saw that should be good for me. Rook g8, nice way. Actually, maybe even more winning, easier winning. But okay, this one should be winning, yeah. Yeah. So I have 6 out of 8. In fact, in the 6 out of 8, I could have scored 8 out of 8. But okay, we have what we have. By the way, this game, I remember I was in time for 30 moves. I had enough time. And now it is a break. So 6-minute break before the next round. So see you in a few minutes. 2 minutes before the next round. I have 6 out of 8. Not a bad result. Not a bad result, but I could have had a better result, more points. Still, even like now, I'm on 20. I'm 26th. So we're not so far from actually sharing from 13. So let's try, let's do something. But okay, let's focus on time management. Okay, it's like 40 seconds before the start. Once again, what is this? Even like last game I played black and I still play black. And once again I'm playing black. And this is a fourth strong opponent. I play black today. I mean, if I'm not, I don't really remember if I played one white against somebody stronger today. I don't think it was. I don't remember. I think I played only against weaker players with white, but I will check after the tournament. But this is a fourth strong opponent with black when I play black. Obviously, yeah. I mean. It is not a problem for me, but this is just curious that like why. Yeah, because even like when last round I played black, now once again I play black, and this is of course understandable, but still still why. Yeah. Just in case if he's going to castle Lon, I would like to be prepared and maybe having a chance, having an option to play b5. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play b5, but having it as simply as just similar as he just played h3. He wants to be ready for my castle, and then like so he would be able to play g4 in this case. Castling alone is a decent idea by white, and I think this is what he like maybe what he needs to do, or at least this is what he might do. Interesting idea. Yeah, knight d5 I don't want to take myself, but let's play maybe c6. 18 moves, 330, it's okay. So queen d8 or queen c7? Queen e6. Queen e6 is an option. Looks maybe a bit worse for some reason. Maybe because of simply d5 by him. So let's play d8. I don't know. I picked one. And that's it. Can I play d5 or then bishop b4 is a bit annoying, might be a bit annoying. Let's go h4 for now. Oh, maybe he wants to play bishop b4. Ouch. Or maybe b4 he wants to play. Bishop b4 is actually, I'm not afraid, this is fine for me. But I'm getting low on time. Maybe taking on g4 was not a good idea, but let's see what we can do here. Rook takes d6 is not really an option, unfortunately. Let's go for queen d7. Yeah, my king unfortunately my king is worse than his king. And now I'm afraid of queen c2 and queen followed by queen h2. Okay, this is not the end of the world. I can take here, and then I can go for maybe king g7 makes sense. Rook d8, 93. There is rook d3. Can I go for rook d3 here? This is funny. Yep. Can I go for c5? There is no checkmate, unfortunately, but actually I can go for I don't need to go for checkmate. I can go for rook d5 or rook c8 here, knight d5 here, b5. No. Yeah. Defending so well and then losing on time while I was better on time. I found this, and then I had 1 minute and I wasted here a lot of time. Had no problems at all. Even in the end, it was a drawish position, but I lost on time. But okay, in that game, I did my time management plan. The pawn is hanging. Okay, let's go for d5. Let's go for e4. that's a good idea by him. Okay, let's take and let's go for... Let's go for bishop e3. Actually, the funny thing is that I can give up my g2 bishop for, like, I mean, if he took on e4, I can change it for his... I can exchange it for his knight, because his bishop on f7 is actually misplaced. Yeah, of course, the best square for the bishop is, I mean, not the best square, but it's better for the bishop to be on this diagonal. Yeah, but what I can say, I think what I can say is that somehow it feels that I play better today. I don't know if you can if you can feel this, but to me it seems like it's true. I mean, the only thing left is improving my time management a little bit and converting positions with advantage. Overall, Black is doing okay because his knights are very nice on c5 and e5. The only issue is that, let's say, he has a good position in terms of strategy. But how about some concrete ideas, concrete threats by me? Like f6 at some point. Yeah, probably he wants to go for queen d4. But queen d4 is not a big deal. The only advantage of this move is that it is a check. So let's simply play king h1. Then I kind of resume the idea, the threat of rook e1. And so if queen d4, there will be knight b5. Queen g3, a g3. I'm not afraid because I even have queen c3 there, exchanging the queens. However, I slightly missed rook e3 idea. Yeah, of course it would have been better to play something like rook f3, a very reasonable move, doubling my rooks on the f file. I missed rook e3. I missed rook e3 idea. However, actually, how about his pawn on d6? Surprising move, queen b2. So knight takes d6 is coming. I mean, if queen b2, rook b2, he is not in time to defend the pawn on d6. And obviously, time management depends on the level of the opponent. It depends on the... Let's play rook b1. It just, like, of course, not rook b3 because of knight f2, but leaving the rook here, defending the back rank, aiming at b7. So when I take here, I would also gonna go for the pawn on b7. Yeah, so getting back to time management, of course it depends. h5 is a good idea by him, actually, but I don't believe. What do I do now? I have fg6, which is pretty good. Let's go for fg6. After ag3, I can even go for knight f5, and now I also can go for knight f5. I can also go for rook b7, then knight c5. Okay, let's go for this one. What if I checkmate him somehow? This is almost possible, almost. Okay, let's start with bishop f3. Oh, I shouldn't. blunder my rook somehow on f5. Actually, my rook on f5 doesn't have too many squares. So for example, if bishop f3, king g6 might be a bit annoying. Yeah, like forcing him maybe to go to c5 and then rook h5, rook h3, getting rid of that pawn, and should be an easy win for me. Yeah, so time management depends on the opponent and on the position, because today I against like stronger opponents I was wasting time in in some situations, not all the time, but yes, it was like that. And at the same time, I think round 2 or round 3, I don't remember exactly, round 2 maybe, I was wasting my time because the position was complex, and maybe the opening was not so familiar to me. But overall, you can even, I think you can see that playing faster gives better result. Here, like, okay, it's not so important what I do, what he does. It's time to, like, it's completely lost for him. He's low on time. Yeah, not the best game, but I played fast, or I had knight b5 here right away. Still queen b2, you see, like it was somewhere on the 3rd place. So queen b2 is a good move. Rook b3 he needs to play, not so obvious. And otherwise the endgame is just lost for him. Yeah, here just so stupid. Where I lost all of my time, that's the question. Here I had 1 minute. Just take that stupid pawn, stupid knight on c4 and play rook d5. No single problem. Then 20 seconds on c5 and 20 seconds on rook d5. I didn't see the solution here. I thought like maybe some rook c4 or b5. Actually, everything works. b5, ab5 here, and I thought I lose material in the end. Or I missed a5 idea. So and a5, king c5 here. No, this is like doesn't look great. Yeah, so this is what I saw, and eventually what I played, rook d5, king b6. Yeah, should have taken on c4. Here's simply rook a5, but even I played, it's like rook e5. But okay, it's not so important. I'm just lost on time, but the position is even like no problems for me. And Niemann is almost winning the close to win the tournament. Vidit is on 9th place. Both of them, like I should have beaten both of them. What can I say? And finally, I play white against a stronger opponent. Yeah, by the way. Stronger, of course, I mean by the numbers, of course, not by the level. What can I say? All those kids All those kids I could have beaten easily. D5, madam. Let's go for D4. Maybe not a good idea, but okay. Yeah, the problem if I play C5, I would have to. After B6, I don't really know what to do. Also, like C5, knight C6, knight E2, B6. Have to take. Not really having something here. I mean, okay. Being honest, saying having nothing here. Ouch. I thought I'm okay. Now I see his idea. Okay, let's go all out. Because if I played knight e2, then knight b4, and it would be a problem for me. Okay. Yeah, you know, in any tournament, you have to play one stupid game. Of course, it's not. Oh, it's so queen f3 is so stupid. I thought I'm gonna take on d5. Yeah. So what I wanted to say is that in any tournament, you must play one stupid. One stupid game. Yeah. So this is my stupid game. Okay, I think I'm going to resign in a few moves, unless he will blunder something before that. Probably he will not blunder something before that. Well, the position is pretty bad. Pretty bad, so like I really want to resign. I really want to resign. Knight g5 is coming. No single idea. Yeah. This game, I don't want to say anything on this game. Just a stupid loss. The only stupid game by me in this tournament. So yeah, the score is bad, 7 out of 11. but I think the result, not the result, my play, not without the last round, my play was good today. Just a little bit not enough here and there. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for joining, and see you next Tuesday.